What is good, YouTube? It is great to formally meet y'all. My name is Josh, also known as OOSKicks, and today is a crazy day because this is our very first YouTube channel. What better way to close out the year 2020 with creating and stepping outside our comfort zone, introducing ourselves to the YouTube platform, and just being able to share our experiences, our journey as a part-time reseller, full-time collector. Hope y'all enjoy this, man. All right, so let's talk OOSKicks, the name, how it came about. We started our Instagram, here it is right here, OOSKicks. Back in May 2020. Yeah, right in the middle of the pandemic, everything that was happening. I had a conversation with my wife and I said, hey, look, I collect a lot of shoes. Might as well show it off and see if we can get some people that follow along our journey, picking up the craziest shoes that we can pick up. The name of the game for me is Nike SB. Dunks have been my childhood, have been the shoes that I wore growing up, the shoes that I wanted, the grails that I wanted to pick up. Although I don't have the high crazy shoes like the Paris or the Pigeons, those are probably the grails that have always kept me in the hunt, always kept me going. And from there, after I finished all of my schooling and been able to afford the shoes that I wasn't able to back in high school, the obsession became really crazy in terms of picking up due to some credit to Facebook groups, Instagrams, net magnetism, Untitled Hawaii, being able to see the pickups they're picking up. It made me realize that my shoe passion never left me. So that's kind of like where I was in terms of being at home, working from home, and then finally realizing that, hey, might as well network out there, see exactly what the shoe industry is still about, and see if I still got it in terms of the passion and showing off what I have. So that overall started, and then afterwards, I believe in June, we did this crazy buyout. I think we bought over 70 pairs. And from there, I spoke to my wife and I said, hey, I think this may be the start of us actually reselling to pay for some of our shoes that we've been buying for the crazy prices. And this is a time when SBs were just being put on by Travis and the hype was going crazy, the Stussy Dunks, all those. And I think from there, that was just kind of my idea of like, hey, this could be something where, I could create a little side gig, a little side business, support your small businesses, y'all. And yeah, so since May, it's been crazy. We've had a lot of growth in terms of our Instagram. We've also hopped onto TikTok, where we've been making the craziest videos where we're able to relate back to sneakerheads. I think that's the bread and butter in terms of like how I bring comedy into shoes. So in general, that's pretty much what we do. We buy a lot of Nike SBs, we buy a lot of Jordans. The main factor for us is trying to keep everybody in stock. And that's where our slogan came from. It's stay in stock with OOSKicks, and being able to do that and provide for other people that don't have the opportunity to hit on sneakers or don't have that access to those sneaker stores that have the most craziest shoes that are out there. So I think by able to do that, that's kind of where we created our message. We created our own website. If you guys want to check it out, it's www.ooskicks.com. And that's pretty much, that's our backstory. That's what I do. I'm a collector, part-time reseller, and I know I never thought I'd be able to say that as myself, but as a sneakerhead growing up, you pretty much are a reseller, because if you think about it, we're buying all these different shoes growing up, and we're trying to get the next shoe that's up there in terms of value. And in order to do that, you gotta either make more money or you sell the shoes that you currently have, and that's reselling, right? I always thought a reseller was one that picks up like 100 pairs, but really in general as a sneakerhead, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're part-time reseller. So I think that's kind of where the perspective I come in terms of out of stock, and we created our own name from that. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want to check it out, our Instagram again is OOSKicks. This is where the shirt came from. It's pretty sick in terms of that. Shout out my boy Brian Mundas. So what better way to introduce ourselves by showing off probably the top 5 Nike SB Dunks that are in my collection. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be any of the 2020 Dunks that have been out there. Again, like I said, I'm an old school collector. I mess with the old days, 2004, 2005, 2006, pink box, silver box, black box, the OG brown box, and you'll see the top 5 that I have in my collection. My collection isn't as big as it used to after starting OOSKicks because I started becoming more realistic in terms of what I'd actually wear and what I appreciate a lot. We don't typically have the biggest space here to keep my shoe collection, but one day. I think number 1, we'll go ahead and hit him with this. Our number 1 shoe, and these are in no particular order. I just kind of wanted to show off in terms of the introduction, but let's go ahead and start it off. So, number 1 shoe has to be in the silver box. My size that I wear is a size 10 or a 10.5. But as you know, I hit that part. But as you know, as a shoe head, whatever it takes to have the shoe that you want, especially when it comes to like Nike SBs, it's so hard to get any of these pairs, but I'll go ahead and show this off. So, my favorite, probably the craziest shoe. No, I have some crazier ones, but this one right here, Nike Dunk SB Supreme High in the blue colorway. And I got these in a size 10.5. And I think what I want to do is I want to tie in terms of what I paid for them and what the market value is today. But as you know, you got the stars here. And this is kind of reminiscent because as you've seen all over like 2J's Kicks, if you've seen like Chic's Closet, they're basically having the in pair in hands of the lows that are coming out. I'll tell you this, all the pairs I'm gonna show you, they are worn. I wear all of my shoes. I'm not like the biggest fashion kind of guy that can rock highs, but I think having these in my collection definitely is something that I always wanted, and it came at the right time when I purchased them. But you can see this gold hit right here. Luckily, I don't have any of that much of the tongue yellowing. This is probably the best condition that I have in terms of the other Supreme Highs that I have. But man, and you always gotta look at the stars. But this right here, you got the lace lock, the iconic Supreme lace lock that everyone pretty much knows when you see it. I'm wondering though, I've seen some pics where the new lows have that pair, but this has to be probably one of my favorite dunks. In 2000, I believe 18, I purchased these bad boys for $600. So right here, StockX, this is what a brand new pair would go for. Crazy. An OG actually blessed me with these for $600. Back then it was a lot of money because I was just starting to work. But I just always have had these. I've loved these shoes. When I was a kid, I only had the red pair, and the blue pair was always the one that I could never think in my wildest dreams I'll be able to purchase. But yeah, that's number 1. Our second shoe for this video comes in a Nike SB pink box. This one comes in a size 10.5 as well. It doesn't have that print. This one is probably the better out of the two in terms of condition, and also the one that fits me, because I got that size 10 and man, it's so hard to fit. I think in the older SBs, actually even the newer ones, I am a size 10.5, but sometimes you just gotta go either half a size up or half a size down. But this pair right here is the Nike SB Dunk Tiffany. And man, oh man, this pair is probably one of my favorite pairs that got me into this game back in the day when these released. I believe these are 04 release? 05 release. Yeah, and the thing that you gotta look out on these is the condition of your swoosh. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I say swoosh, some people say swoosh. That's pretty much what's gonna tell you the value in terms of your Tiffany, is because sometimes you're gonna get like these ripples here in the swoosh, and that's just over age. It's just kind of the unfortunate thing about the aging about this pair, but you can just see the beauty. It's one of the most iconic SBs. Nicky Diamond killed this when he had that collaboration, and then he re-released pairs. He had the black, the white, and then the canary, which is unreal. I don't think I'd ever have a chance to get the canary because I don't know if I could pay that much for a 2019, 2020 release, but just in general, the colorway, the color blocking, the iconic Tiffany, the aqua Tiffany blue, this just makes a shoe collector's dream to have in your collection. And I think right here, and I've had this conversation with a lot of fellow sneakerheads, it's just the details that Nike SB did back in the day on these shoes, the crocodile print, and you just have everything in terms of details. This is why I fell in love with Nike SB, because that's the kind of guy I am. I love it. I love paying attention to detail. This is probably my one of my top 5s, definitely gotta have in the collection. And this is the pair that I barely wear, but it's the pair that actually fits because my size 10 is too tight. Coming in at number 3 has to come in one of the Nike OG boxes. When you see this box, you know that either it's gonna come from a Nike outlet or it's gonna come as a banger. This pair and the other pair that I'm gonna show off is very special to me because I was able to get these way crazy, and the price of these, I think this is one of my most watched TikToks when I react to checking out how much it is on StockX. But this pair right here is the Nike SB Dunk Supreme Lobe. So I am a sucker for the Supreme collection, for the 04, 05, the highs, the blazers. But I think just in general wearability, I'm a lot more easier to wear the Nike Dunk Lows, just because just how my style is. I can't really rock highs because my legs are pretty short. You got this iconic elephant print, but you just have this, just the way that color block, the simplicity, but also just how special this shoe is. You just know when you see these on a sneakerhead's foot, you're just flabbergasted. You just can't tell like how much either they paid for it or just how the condition is. And I just love how my pair has a subtle yellowing at the midsole, but at the same time it still has that white colorway. But man, this right here, sometimes you do get yellowing on the tongue, but in general this is such a fire shoe, and I think this would lead us to our number 4 pick that I have. And man, I love this pair so much. I am coming up on a second pair that I've been waiting for so long, because what I did was I got them for very cheap, and then I got a sole replacement. So this would be able to, it's called a shoe donor, and this donor would basically take out the pair that I had, which over time, if you don't keep these shoes in really good condition, the soles can get really hard, and it's hard for you to wear them, and they'll just start cracking. So sometimes you do have to do the sole replacement. I believe that's number 3. So fire. Supreme Lows. Iconic. StockX prices, crazy. Like what? How? I'm gonna combine the black and the white just because they're essentially the same shoe. Luckily I was able to get OG box as well, OG laces. Even has the OG, look at that tag that people, I don't even know how he got these off and then put them back on, which is crazy. So yeah, I think compared to the white pair, this shoe just really speaks out to me, because it's, in terms of how you style it, this red right here just pops out in the sock liner. I luckily do not have any holes or tears here. Just the shoe in general, colorway, the color blocking, you got that, the cement print just goes off that black, the black paint here, and man, it's just an amazing shoe. And this has to be together with number 3. I don't think you can put them separately, but in general, in terms of wearability, I think I would go the black pair over the white. And also I love how this part won't yellow like the white pair. You can't have one without the other. I guess you could say it like that. Coming in at number 4 and number 5, these were actually designed by the same artist. I'm crazy about these shoes. I think this shoe specifically was the one that I paid $300 for. And it is amazing to me because this is probably one of my biggest grails. Back in the day, I had a size 8.5 and I had a size 11. I'm a true 10 or 10.5. So you're telling me I would do what it took to either walk like a duck so they don't crease, or I would squeeze them to where I take out the insole and wear them with no insole just so I could rock this shoe because I loved it so much. So coming in at number 4, the silver box. This pair is a size 10. I had a DS pair, size 10.5. However, it just didn't have the OG box, and that speaks a little bit more volume to me. So this is the Nike SB Dunk Futura. People call them Futura, but in general, this shoe is straight up a beauty. And you won't imagine how buttery my suede still is on this pair of shoes. It is unreal. But just like I said in the Supreme Lows, you just have that color blocking. You have this gray that comes off with this blue. My gosh, like you just look at these and just wearability, simplicity, everything about it is amazing. Look at this. You have the white laces that just hit specifically on this shoe. Like I don't think I've seen pairs that have like the black laces or the blue laces. It just doesn't hit as crazy as these white. In the Nike SBs though, you can notice that sometimes they do have separation near here because as you're wearing them, you're creasing them like this, and then it just kind of separates out. But if you get a good customizer, a good shoe fixer-upper, they can fix that for you, which gotta shout out my boy Jesse, NSB Soul Searching, for all the work that he does for my shoes. But man, check this out, the Nike SB Futura. And also, I think I have to highlight, the material they use on this is not regular leather. I believe I would say that this is mesh. And I never really took like deep look into this, but man, the way that they age is beautifully compared to, let's say like Jordans, like sometimes like from 1985, you have that material. The major problem that you'll have is probably just like the sole where they get hard, or you have the sole separation. In general, that's pretty much all you have to worry about. So coming out in number 5, we got another pink box here. Iconic. This is actually a high, and I still have one of the tags that's on here. You can look at that and see. Okay, right here. The price was $450. I got these in a trade. I believe I traded my Red Supreme Blazers for these. And yeah, let's check them out. So, got a size 10. And like I said, designed by the same artist, Futura. Man, oh man, the Nike SB Dunk Uncle. Now this pair has been skyrocketing in terms of value as well. I think StockX has them at crazy. It allows me to just like look back and just be like, damn, like I have this shoe. I don't think I'll ever be able to sell this pair as a reseller, but I'm just hoping I'll never have to see that day. So right here, there's so much to say about this shoe just because of how it was created, and you just know, like as a shoe head, when you spot fakes on this, it's because of this right here. You got these two aspects. You got this X and then this 6. In fakes, you'll have a really fat 6 here, and it's just so, I guess, obvious in terms of when you see them on foot. That's kind of the same thing as a shoe head, and going from Nike Dunk SBs, you just know like, hey, that right there, that's a sign that they're fake. But this pair does not have that. And you have the iconic Futura emblem right here. And then you also have this, you have the Uncle breakdown right here. You have this design here. Man, like he murdered this shoe. For me, I had a pair of these, but they were beat. And I just remember paying, I think almost like 200 back in the day. But this pair I got in 2018 as well. And one of the things about this shoe that you specifically see is you see you would see a lot of fading in terms of this pink. And as you can tell, I still have this pink here. A lot of restorers actually try to, you know, repaint this pink, but I just don't think I could ever take that risk in terms of it. But this has to be probably one of my favorite Nike Dunk highs, or SB highs, that I have in my collection. I'm able to wear them because of the black. I'm not really that crazy in terms of like trying to stand out, but I just love expressing how I feel or how I want to style it, and that's probably the biggest thing for me. I'm a shoe head, I'm a sneaker head, and that's just it. So that is my top 5/top 6 in my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this preview in terms of what we have to offer for YouTube in terms of the future. This is what we do. We are sneakerheads, we are shoe heads, and either it be doing sneaker unboxings, mystery boxes, that could be a potential, just like my boy Untitled Hawaii. You know, Sneakerhead in the Bay, they do a great job of doing that, and I've always wanted to do that because unboxings are always fun, getting the reaction and everything else. But yeah, this is my little Nike Dunk SB. We got a little bit of inventory here as well. Like I said below, if you guys like this content, if you guys have any advice for me for future videos, any other suggestions, we can go off and do that. Yeah, so I guess what YouTubers say, hit that like button, subscribe if you love this channel, as well as comment down below on how you feel. I appreciate y'all. I'm excited for this journey. 2021, big things coming up, and make sure to follow us on TikTok, on IG, OOSKicks. Appreciate y'all already. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Always remember, stay in stock without a stock kicks.